Hi, hi everyone. My name is Seoyeon from Line Developer Relations team, and I am especially taking care of open source at Line. So today I invited our developers, especially they are in charge of open source and development at the same time. And we are going to talk about open source and open source contribution today. So some of you might notice that Line is supporting open source ecosystem, and we are continuously publishing new open source project. And one of them is Armeria. It has the largest users among the Line open source. And so I'd like to introduce how we could build a open source, how we could build a company-driven open source community. So please, next slide. So for starter, I'd like to introduce our panels. From the first, this is Koji Lin. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. He's a software engineer slash manager of the development department at Line Fukuoka. And this is Yuya Okuyama-san. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi. Yeah. He's a developer from Line official account development team. And lastly, this is Minwoo Song. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Minwoo, could you introduce yourself and a little bit about Armeria?
Yeah. Could you? Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, hello. My name is Minwoo, and it's very nice to meet you all. So I'm working on a project called Armeria, which is the name of a flower, but it has nothing to do with the flower actually. So Armeria is an asynchronous microservice framework. So the main purpose of Armeria is to help developers build their own servers really easily. So currently a lot of companies are using Armeria, including Slack and Line, of course, and so on. Yep.
Thank you, Minwoo. So, yeah, these two are heavy users of Armeria. So, could you tell us at what point are you using Armeria? From Okuyama-san first.
Yeah, okay. So mentioned, I am belongs to official account team. So now official account team develops Line reservation, which is a new service released last week. Online reservation page. Users can make a reservation, and the page is linked to OA profile page or present page. So now our team develops APIs for not only our service page, but also external partner companies and internal family services. So all these APIs are implemented with gRPC, and we use Armeria as gRPC framework. So we can say Line reservation service is very, very supported by Armeria and its interesting features.
Okay, thank you. And how about you, Lin-san?
Yeah, so I work in communication and service integration team. So this is a new team name, but yeah, we're mainly working on the stickers. You know, that in Line we have sticker, and open line, the first page, the most left tab and the most right tab is we call home tab and wallet tab. So our team is making API for this kind of place. So when I joined 5 years before, we are already start working to migration to the Armeria. So nowadays, like almost our endpoint is supported by Armeria. Yeah, we're using like Swift API, Swift RPC and REST API. They both are run by the Armeria. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And all of you are also a contributor of Armeria, right? So I believe sending feedbacks are very useful to maintainers, right? So do you agree with that, Minwoo?
Yeah, that's very important. Like, we need the feedback. Without it, actually, we couldn't make this kind of high quality framework. So
yeah.
Well, actually, there are like different types of feedback, such as telling us what kind of features you need and what kind of features are terrible, and reporting a bug, of course, and sending us your code, a pull request. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, as you mentioned, I also emphasize to our developers. So actually, I support our developers who wants to release a new open source project in line. So I emphasize something like feedbacks are very important, and you need to welcome the users or future contributors to get some feedbacks or get some pull requests from others. So yeah, I totally agree with that. So
Right.
and so next slide, please. So we are going to start the first question. So it's an easy one. So when was your first open source contribution in your life? Could you tell us? From Okuyama-san?
Okay. It's after joining Line. Actually, the first one is Linebot SDK Python, which is SDK for Line messaging API. But except for it, Armeria is the first OSS contribution for me. As we can communicate with maintenance with official Slack, so contributing was not so difficult. Yeah.
Just quick question. Is Line is the first company you work for?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's reasonable. And what about you, Lin-san?
Yeah, so my first open source contribution is not this company, but my previous company, I'm working on the Android application. So if I remember correctly, my first contribution is try to fixing like the image loading and caching library for the Android at that time. So I'm finding some bug and I want to fix that. Even I can do some workaround, but I want to ask in the author how to do that. So that's why I send the patch to the pull request to upstream. I think that's the first time. And then I start to sometimes I'm more like to find a problem or like issue I think is a little weird, behavior I think is weird, then I will ask in the upstream author. So that's why even in the line right now, usually my open PR or asking is usually about bug or something I feel like it behave a little weird for me, yeah.
Well, actually, Lin-san, Lin-san here has contributed to Armeria even before I joined this team, so he's pretty old.
Yeah, I'm already 5 years. Yes.
Old member. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, for me, it was for Armeria. So it's just fixing a one word typo. So that was the start actually. So start right now with a small thing. You can be a maintainer.
Yeah.
Before you join Line or after you join Line?
Oh, before I joined Line.
Okay.
So you join as a maintainer, right? I mean, then directly join the Armeria team.
What was that again?
I mean, you join the Line as a Armeria maintainer or something like that.
Yeah, right.
I see.
Yeah.
So I believe no one here imagined that you are going to be here, like talking about open source contribution at that time, right?
No.
So, and next question. So have you contributed to open source other than Armeria recently? So I'm wondering if there's any differences between them, like for example, and of course, if there are some differences from contributing rules or some kind of attitude or like something atmosphere.
So maybe I can answer this question. Yeah. So recently I'm also trying to using my spare time to try to contribute to some project that I know, like say recently I checked some like Zipkin Brave part. So for that issue, I want to make a small new feature. I also check some other open source project too. So, but I'm not really attend many projects. But I think the fun part is each project have different kind of idea or design idea for architecture, or then they maybe have some rule or convention they want the other contributor to follow. So, but this is really small. So like I said, maybe asking question or open issue, not in the GitHub, but maybe in the Stack Overflow, and they will check the forum. So, I mean, it's kind of different project, small different point, something like that. But I want to mention is like they all have the one really nice part when I joined, when I contribute to the project. They all have nice code review process. So during that code review, then I can learn about what's the thing about the contribution. Like some member, they really care about like I mainly contributed to Java, so the artifact size or like library you should be care or the version you should be care. I think this is quite interesting. Like they really using a lot of time to do the code review about your pull request. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, Lindsay mentioned about code review, and well, actually, yeah, code review is very important because actually we spend a lot of time on it because, well, we do code review more than coding actually. So there's a lot of purposes for code review, but for this kind of framework, so you can think of the code review as a process that tries to keep the consistent coding style throughout the entire project. Well, let's say that you are using Armeria, so you are programming a server using Armeria APIs. So while you are developing, so if the API like have different coding styles and different pattern, then, well, I'm pretty sure that you will get confused and have an unpleasant experience. So that's actually what I have felt before when I was using another framework. So now I don't use that framework anymore. So, well, actually, yeah, that will make you stop using Armeria. So, yeah, therefore, we need the code review to keep the consistent coding style. So, in the process of it, we usually ended up with better API designs, better documentations, and fewer bugs. Yeah.
For our viewers, actually, we are going to answer the question at the end of this session because we prepare some questions. So let's finish it quickly. So anyway, getting back to the conversation. So actually, I sometimes sneak around the Armeria pull request and I saw some comments like more than 100.
Yeah, that's beautiful, like for some cases. Yeah, even I got more than like 100 comments from other maintainers. So
even you?
Don't feel bad about it.
Yeah,
it's just a process.
So at that point, I realized how you guys think how important the code reviews are. So it was so impressive for me at the first. And next question. Back slide, please. This one. Thank you. So is there any way to motivate yourself to contribute to open source? So I guess all of you might think of that you will get benefits from open source contributions, right? So what do you think of the benefits? And could you tell us any cause, like anything that you motivate?
Yeah. Okay. Benefit.
Yeah.
The most of I think as I'm not proficient in Java and Java's culture, so I reading and writing Armeria teach me many things. So I think this is a big motivation and this is a big benefit for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And other opinion?
Okay, me? Okay. So I think like Okuyama-san, I'm also agree with that, especially for my personal motivation. Like the reason is like I make the API a lot. So usually we already have kind of pattern or best practice for making a service to providing API. But like helping to contribute to the library or framework, they give you another aspect of design. So even I write a lot of Java application, the web service before, I still learn a lot when I contribute this kind of library, checking the source code, fix the bug. I know a lot of multi-thread concurrent programming kind of issues. Also, I think another big issue, benefit, not only to me, but for the whole organization or the team, is like our company using, for example, Armeria is what we use a lot. So sometimes we found some bug. It's really easy to like say, okay, just don't use that API. Let's do some workaround, and then we fix quickly in local. It's easy, yeah, but it may also affect the other team, the same bug. And you just solve the question in your team. You hard to teach your other teams, like say, okay, there's a bug, don't do that. This version has some issue. So it's easiest way is you just send to the upstream or open the issue in the upstream. So other team, they will check the issue by themselves. So it's more easy to spread out the knowledge, I think. And I think that's the benefit. But what motivates me a lot is like, currently I'm a manager also. So as a manager, contribute to open source can also like help your colleague, like who have the same idea can also want to do that same thing. So I can encourage them to also like say, try to do some workaround, forking in the local, and in the future you need to catch up upstream. Compared to that, maybe in some situation, just contribute to the open source, then you can help your team and also more, quickly fix the issue without worry about loss. Yeah, that's what I think. There's some benefits and something motivate me to continue to, even I don't do aggressive, really many contribution, but if I find some issue or bug, I will usually try to report open issue directly in the upstream. Yeah.
And you are such a good manager.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I agree with that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there any other members who contribute to Armeria other than Lin-san?
Yeah, in our as a content, CSI team, we already, I think you all remember 2 or 3 members. Like one is constantly like do something in spare time, and some member find some issue with documentation or some bug, they will try to open the issue in the upstream or like asking the Slack, and sometimes send some idea to the upstream. So I think in our team, already 2 or 3 members have experience to contribute to Armeria before. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you for your answer. And next question is, isn't it too tough, like to keep the balance between work and contribute to open source? Like, how do you handle that? Especially like Lin-san is managing the team and coding, reporting a bugs, like.
Right. So I'm become manager, but many lots of meeting. But the good part is like not the good part, but I cannot write in so many features because I was blocking other members. So I started trying to find some issue that like about library or framework. So I can use in my spare time during the meeting, between the meetings, spare time. I can use that time to try to fix that and let the team member try to work around first, and then I help to find the root cause. So that's why I sometimes open some pull requests or asking questions about kind of bug or some behavior that we are not expected in the from the framework. Yeah.
Okay, that's clever. And other opinion, like Okuyama-san?
In my case, for neither features or bug report, I do on weekdays as a sort of work. But for the new feature, which is not related to the work, I do on weekends as a hobby.
Oh.
Well, actually, he's such a passionate guy. Yeah, I really love him. He's even sending PRs on the weekends. So, yeah, I want to tell him, get some rest. Get some rest. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. For me, it's like, as I told you before, I'm a maintainer, so maintaining Armeria is my job. So I don't need the balance between the work and the open source. So sorry about you guys. It's my job. I don't work on the weekend. Sorry.
But you sometimes say,
I have my daughter because I need time to take care of her.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, even he answers like that, but I saw him like answering the question during the weekend, or leave some comment like time to time. So anyway, and next question. So we are going to talk about community. Like, looks looks like communication between the contributors and maintainers are very active, right? So is there any preferred way to communicate with the people in open source? Like, do you have any preferred way?
I can quickly, as a contributor, I like to more responsive way from the author. So I usually ask in the Slack first, and then like if there's no Slack, I will try to open the issue in the GitHub. But if the repository maintainer say don't ask in the issue, please ask in Stack Flow, then I will try to create the Stack Flow and put the appropriate label to let them try to find my question. Yeah.
So you just follow the
I just follow the guideline.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, actually, yeah, we want to respond as soon as possible in our Slack. So, so actually, so it's the duty of like maintainers. So in here, So in here, Okuyama-san also helps us a lot in Slack, even though she's not a maintainer. So we call him the Kotlin specialist. So so when people right. So when people ask about Kotlin, which I'm not that familiar with, so Okuyama-san comes and like answers the question. So again, I love him.
I hope more and more people use Kotlin with Armeria.
Okay, so thank you for your answers. Maybe this is the last question.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have a lot of time left.
Then we can answer the question from the audience.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so maybe this is very helpful to our listener that if you share some tips to get a response from maintainer or community like easily, like is there any good way or some tips?
Well, I think most open source maintainers like want you to be prepared like as much as possible. So please don't just come and say it's not working, it sucks, I'm not going to use your framework. Just please don't do that. So if you find a bug, please tell us in what situation it happens, like such as Armeria version, like operating system if needed, like, and every other information that helps us find what is the problem. So if you have the reproducible code, then you get like 100 score. So even though we want you to, even though we want you to be prepared, that's actually not a requirement. So sometimes you may not know what's the problem, what to do, and what's the problem. So if so, just come to our Slack and ask questions. So we are going to find out the problems together. So we're not a monster. We're not going to eat you. So just come and to ask us about your problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any others? Like any other experience? Like not getting response? No.
I'm okay.
And please use the language that we can understand.
Because,
I don't know Chinese, but sometimes like people just leave a comment like using Chinese.
Use Google Translate.
All right, I will use that.
Okay.
All right.
So before I wrap today's talk, I'm going to answer some questions from our audience. So besides Armeria, how many other open source do we have? So when you visit our GitHub at github.com/line, you will find around 60 projects, but that includes some SDKs, like both SDKs in Java, like Node.js, something, and Clova SDK. So it might be half of them. But anyway, we have so many different types of projects. So I recommend you to visit our GitHub first. And next question is there a certain amount of time, working time, that members can spend on open source development?
Yes, before this, we already thinking there's some question like this, and I already prepared for that. So let me answer this. Honestly, we don't have like real policy about like you can using how much of time. It's kind of talk with your manager. Like say this really contribute to project. This helps. Like we fix this. This can help your project. So usually I will say if this library or framework is related to the project and this helps your project to go smooth in the future, usually I would think like 10 to 20%, or like new feature that we needed, then maybe became more time. So this balance is hard to really judge, like say how much of time, but usually I would say talk with the senior members or managers, and I can tell you like, okay, I think this is a good idea. Let's do on that side, and maybe using how much of time to do that. Like give me some idea, like how long will it take, something like this, yeah. So not really have a concrete time, but I think usually it can be talkable, discussable with the members, yeah.
Yeah, so it depends on how related.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, if for hobby, then like Okuyama-san, I would say, yeah, do the hobby time, like say some part of feature. Yeah. So I also do some hobbies in my weekend time. Yes.
Yeah.
For me, it's 100%.
Yes, of course.
I'm a maintainer. You can be a maintainer.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Other question is, do you have to read every single detail of source code to be able to contribute to open source?
Well, actually, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to read everything.
Is it possible?
Yeah. No, it's not. I don't even read like 100% of it. So yeah. If you want to like contribute, but if you don't know, just come to our Slack and ask us about questions. So then we will guide you. Yeah, we will guide you. Then maybe you can do this. You can read of this class, and you can read of this. And this source code then. So we're going to guide you. So you don't have to read everything. Yeah, every source code. Yeah.
I think this is the last question. Is Line financially supporting any open source development organizations? Actually, we were looking for some community we could support, but we are still in progress now. So maybe we will see in the next year.
And Line pays me. I'm a maintainer.
Stop.
Yeah.
But like I said, some organization, I think, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea, good chance to support them. Mm-hmm. And I think it's time to call it a day now.
Right.
So
only 1 minute?
Yeah, I was supposed to summarize today's talk. Yeah, so next. Yeah, we talked about so many things like motivating oneself to contribute to open source and the benefits of open source. And we answered about, the biggest motivation is learning something, right? So everyone agreed with that. And we talk about some tips for communication, and there are so many tips for that, but in Armeria we have Slack. So if you use Armeria, or if you're interested in Armeria, just join the Slack and ask question or say hi. And lastly, we talk about some tips for getting response. So the important thing is like reproducible code, I guess. Or if you don't find a way to solve the problem, you can just ask question, like feel free to ask question. So the operating team said it's time's up. So thank you all for listening today. And I hope this conversation helps you a lot. And I hope this conversation makes you join the open source today or later. And just feel free to leave the question under the screen. And thanks again, and bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Hope to see you at our Slack.